So James Fern, he's won races before, hasn't he, Bradley? So
yeah, he's won one or two. Obviously, he always seems to be there and thereabouts, but not quite at the top. But so James Fern, well, it could well be one of the favourites to take the fight there. Was that
wow, what a start. Sorry, mate. Clinton Wood gets away very nicely down the middle there. Unfortunately, the other guys ahead of him got slightly better room.
That's James Fern up the inside, but Darryl Dance around the outside.
Yep, he's doing his Buffalo Girl routine. That's totally side-by-side stuff, and Darryl is able to squeeze those brakes out of those big scaffolder hands. Squeeze the Chiquicos into the pistons, and away he goes down the hill. So Clinton Wood up to third place from that pretty good start there. Looks like Seamus McGlynn has dropped a little bit, a couple of places there. Everybody safely through the first three corners, so they make their way up to Surtees through the left-right flip-flop that is Surtees, McLaren, then onto Clearways, drive off of Clearways onto Clark Curve, and then onto, we laughingly call a front straight here at Brands Hatch, because on these big bikes it disappears very quickly, this undulating circuit. Sure enough, it is Darryl Dance ahead of James Fern, Clinton Wood, Tyler Donnelly, James McGlynn, Justin Rose. Then, sorry, which Smith is that?
That's Hayden.
Hayden Smith, there we go. Wow, we've hardly mentioned him all week. He's made up 6 places. That's why I'm surprised him. Sean Wallace now leads the Extreme Machines ahead of Tony Russo. So I know they're good friends down there in the paddock, and I guess Sean's got a taste of the gold medals now, so he wants a little bit more. Third place in that class at the moment is Ben Doolan. As they come up to Surtees once again. It doesn't take very long for this field to get round this circuit, does it? Up the top we go, Darryl Dance. Unsurprisingly going purple at Sector 1. He's looking to make it 4 from 4.
He's doing a good job of it so far. He comes around to complete the first of the flying laps then. Lap time 50.0. Yeah.
We were talking about how quick are the rookies.
Good start for Clinton Wood. 10-second penalty drops him down to 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th.
I thought it was a good start. A little bit too good, unfortunately, for him.
That drops him all the way down to 17th, Keith.
OK, we've still got a fair way to go in this race, but yeah, even if you're giving away a couple of seconds a lap, you've still an awful lot to make up. Still, they'll be enjoying mixing it with the big boys at the front there, because Clinton is a former race winner himself. So trouble is that the kind of thing is that the guys behind him don't know that all of a sudden he's getting dropped. Does mean Tyler Donnelly is, strictly speaking, now in third place.
Got retirement going in towards the pits there.
Oh no!
Hand in the air. So
somebody from the top 10, I think.
Yeah, I can say it's. We'll try and catch a number when they don't come around. But Darryl Dance is leading the way. The gap was 1.6. This time around, after going purple in the second sector, but James Fern's second. Sorry, purple in the second sector. It's now 2.1, but they're in the mid to low 50s. Donovan, McGlynn, Rose. Looks like Hayden Smith has gone into the pits there, Keith.
Yeah, this Kawasaki's come over all Italian on him, unfortunately, which is bad news.
Dropped it at Druid in the race earlier, didn't he? So perhaps it may be a gremlin from that, just causing a few issues.
No, you never know, because the trouble is you don't get a test. There's not a little, I'm surprised more circuits, or some circuits, don't have a little sneaky little test track out the back, just a little runway where you can run up and down just to make sure everything is 100% there, basically. Basic drag sort of view you need just to make sure everything's working fine, but that unfortunately require an awful lot of space, and unfortunately most tracks don't have it. Silverstone would be somewhere you could actually do that, because you only ever seem to use half the track at twice the price as anywhere else, really. Tyler Donovan's just gone quickest in Sector 1 there, backs that up with a green in Sector 2, doesn't quite make the fastest lap, but he's only a few tenths away from it. James Fern, unfortunately, goes a little bit slower than his rival Darryl Dance. Darryl still leads by 2.5 seconds at this stage. No other great changes there as Clinton makes his way up to 13th place now. And I think he'll be making his way up little by little. He's in a 50, so yeah, he's going to pull back a few places. He'll be inside the top 10 by race's end at this rate. However, he won't be on the podium, I don't think. And I think that's unlikely, really. I think the last race on a Sunday, everybody wants to race, but everybody wants to go home as well. You know, you've made it this far through the weekend. You've survived practice, qualifying, warm-up, and 3 races. You kind of want to get it in the van and head on back to where you belong and get it ready for the next one in a few weeks' time, a few short weeks' time as well.
So James Fern there, 50.3. That is a personal best lap of the race for him, and it's 0.4 of a second quicker than Darryl Dance. So just shy of 2 seconds difference between himself and Darryl Dance at the front of this race. Darryl coming down in towards Graham Hill Bend now, squeezing hard on the brakes, then throws it to the left-hand side through Graham Hill Bend, gets the power down onto the Cooper Straight. Tyler Donovan's probably one to watch here, Keith. We're approaching half-race distance, and Tyler Donovan, if we have a look, he went purple in Sector 2 a couple of laps ago, so we've certainly got some pace.
You know, you mentioned it actually. Yeah, he wasn't. His quickest lap is actually only a few hundredths of a second slower than Daryl Dance's fastest lap. He's down there in third, but he's only by 7/10 of a second. So let's see if that gap changes as he comes across the line. Now, yeah, he's down at 6/10 of a second. Seamus McGlynn, though, also puts in a PB as well. He turns into the 50.1s as well. So I tell you what, Seamus is not giving up on a podium either here, because everybody wants to go home with a medal on their dashboard, don't they? So Seamus has done that plenty of times in the past, and he's gone home with some very nice silverware at the end of the year at the dinner dance every year. So another medal would be most welcome.
So Tyler Donovan, Seamus McGlynn and Clinton Wood in that order. So Clinton Wood on corrected time is 11th now. So let's take a look. Whereabouts do you reckon he'll end up with 6 laps to go?
6 laps to go. Let's see. What's his sort of times? Well, he's in the 50s. The others are in the 51. 6 laps. I'm going to put my money on 7th, I think, overall. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I thought that too. Whatever you said, I'll agree with.
Don't know about that. Very rarely. We'll wait and see where he ends up. Tony Russo certainly wouldn't like him to, because that's where Tony Russo is running at the moment, having found his way past on Sean Wallace, and he's leading Sean Wallace by a good 3.5 seconds as well. I'll tell you what, Wood's up to 9th place, so he's 4 seconds away from 7th. Yeah, it might be 8th, actually. We'll wait and see anyway.
Two who's not mentioned today is Derek Cripps on that GSXR 1100.
Yeah, you're right.
He's
I
up there.
forgot to mention him. Yeah, no, fair play. Derek Cripps, you're right on the unusual extreme machine, a Gixxer 1100 with the 17-inch front wheel. And I'm sure they came with the 16-inch front wheel as standard. I'll stand to be corrected on that, but obviously a modification to the front end is all that takes. But I'm sure that was the time that came out, it was fashionable to have the 16-inch front wheel, a fashion led by the GPZ 900 back in the 80s there. And I might be wrong about that, because I'm not a Suzuki specialist by any stretch of the imagination. What I do know is it's a very interesting looking machine, basically, because we don't see many of them out there. The great thing about the Thunderbike classes is you can run pretty much anything. Whatever you've got, there is a Thunderbike class for it at the end of the day, whether it be a CB500, which you could technically run in the Thunderbike Sport class, I imagine, on a power-to-weight ratio basis. So I don't think you'd be very competitive.
We've seen it before, haven't we, a CB500 in the Thunderbike Sport with
that's right,
Chris Cayford a few years ago.
That's
he had it on pole position.
Yeah. I think Chris was the front runner of the class. I think he was just getting some track time with us before he attempted the whole Thunderbolt bike, the whole Thundersport. But yeah, you're right. He did indeed put it on pole position. That was an amazing effort from Chris Cayford there. It really was. And it just shows you what these little bikes are capable of. And of course, we've seen the Thunderbike Sport class won by SV650s and 400s in the past as well. So it's not an exclusive R6 class as it seems to have become these days. So we're now, where are we? 9.5 laps. So 2 laps left when we come across the line this time. And I tell you what, look who's coming fast, mate. The best lap of the race a couple of laps ago for a 49.977. And James Fern is now going to know he's running out of time rapidly. He hasn't got the hurry-up flag just yet. That'll come next time round. It's a 49.728. He's got the gap down to half a second. It's 555 there. That's the second time I've seen it 555. It's like there's a cigarette advertisement subliminally coming through the timing screens out it's all. So let's keep a close eye on this battle. You wonder if Daryl's getting a little bit tired, a big bike, big guy, and towards the end of the weekend. And James Fern, he's probably younger, I mean, dare I say, maybe fitter, well, I don't know. I think Daryl's a reasonably fit guy. He's a pretty solid bloke. Scaffolder by trade. Certainly knows his stuff. No special lights there, but as we saw earlier, you can have a double yellow and still be the fastest thing on the track. Mate, that gap's going to be down to 0.3 of a second, I reckon, if we come across the line now. Clinton Wood, 3 seconds away from being in that 7th place. Over the line they go. It's going to be a challenge from Fern. Is it too early? He's seen the last lap flag, though. He does go quickest in Sector 2. He's into the 49s once again. Down the hill he goes. Up the hill they go towards Druid. Is he going to have a dive there? No. Hopefully there's no more back markers to play a part. I'm guessing they're quick enough to stay away from these two. Down the hill we come. This is where Darrell's big arms will pay dividends on the hard braking. Yep, Fern doesn't make anything up there. Round Graham Hill they come onto the straight. I don't think Fern's going to be close enough to take a challenge. I think Darrell's getting a pit board and he knows he's coming very fast indeed. He's not going to roll out of this one and take it easy. This is the only place Fern has got left if he can get the drive off of here. But we know how strong Darrell is in the corners. Here we come then. Head in the shed. Nose into the clocks, down we come, and it's going to be Darrell Dance getting some fresh air under his front wheel as he powers down the straight there. Goes double green for a 49.875. That puts him around about a tenth of a second quicker, but also gives him 4 wins on the weekend. So James Fern, first to congratulate his rival there. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Tyler Donovan does indeed hang on for third, ahead of Seamus McGlynn, who rolls back and comes 6 seconds behind. And it's Jamie Thomas, Justin Rose. Clinton Wood ends up 7th. Yes! Paid the bill. We should have put money on that one. Tony Russo takes the extreme win there, ahead of Sean Wallace and Ben Dool, and those guys separated by about 5 seconds, but all in a nice straight line there with Darren Corkin behind them as well. It's Hayden Kilworth manages to stay on the bike this time, finished down there in 12th place ahead of Connor Swire. Then it's Biswell, Wren, Kilty, Saunders, Hills, Firth and Beasley.